What's going on, everybody? It's Jamel Gibbs, your family-oriented entrepreneur. Welcome to another video. So in this video, what I want to do is walk you through one of my Airbnbs, and we're going to talk about why I decided to keep this property for short-term rentals versus long-term rentals. And then you also have mid-term rentals as well. We'll talk about the numbers a little bit, and I'll also show you guys around this property, show you what we did to the property. If you remember, back in November of the ending of last year, I bought this property from a young kid who wanted to sell the property because his father had passed away. He inherited this property. So we ended up remodeling this entire house. I showed you the entire remodel process, but now I'm gonna show you how I'm actually making money on this house. I went ahead and refinanced this house, so I guess you would consider this to be a BRRRR style deal. But now, I just released this property on Airbnb and vrbo and other short-term rental sites 2 weeks ago, and we already amassed $8,000 in profit. So we have been paid $2,000 of that money already. We got $6,000 lined up. In fact, I got a guest coming to this house in just a little bit. So let's walk through the property. I'm gonna show you around and I'm gonna talk about the numbers. All right, so we here in the living room. We furnished the entire house to prep it for short-term and mid-term rental. All right, the way we prepped the house for mid-term rental is by putting locks on each of the bedrooms. So if you ever wanted to switch over to renting out bedrooms, we can do that because we have keys in our owner's closet right here. But what we do is we keep a copy of the keys on our keychain. We also keep a copy inside the owner's closet in case we rented the rooms rather than going short-term rental and renting the entire place. But again, we listed this on the short-term rental sites. We haven't put it up on the mid-term rental sites. There's one that we're going to be listing it on. It's $150 to list it on that particular site. But at the end of the day, that can bring in a significant amount of money as well. When you're comparing short-term, mid-term, and long-term rental properties, keep in mind that short-term will probably pay you the most out of all of these different opportunities. Again, we booked $8,000 within our first week and a half on this property after we launched it on a short-term rental site. Mid-term, we'll probably get a couple $100 less, but we'll have a longer stay and less turnaround on the property. So for example, we're paying our cleaning crew $120 after each stay on this property. So if you add that up, we're talking about $500 a month to the cleaning crew out of our pockets. If we were to list this property on a mid-term rental site, then what's gonna happen is there's gonna be less turnaround, so less cleaning is involved, and that's more money in our pocket. So it kind of balances out in that regard, but we won't charge as much on the front end. So if we're getting, let's say, $3,000 a month, $3,200 a month for this property, on a midterm rental, we might get $2,800 a month. And then you got the long-term rentals, which is your normal rental properties that, it's your classic rental properties where you'll have a regular tenant move into the property. On this property, we could probably get upwards of $2,000 a month. But just for having furniture in the place, more turnaround, more cleaning being done. For this property, I do like the short-term rental, and we might test out some mid-term rentals, but right now we're booked up for at least 3 months on this property. But I want to show you guys around. Here's the kitchen. Show you guys what we did in the kitchen here. You guys have probably seen this kitchen before because I've shown you this property on other videos, but really, when we completed the kitchen, we got all the appliances and everything in here. All we did was we add the Keurig. We got one of these K-cup holders and a toaster, salt and pepper shaker, microwave, knives, and we got stuff in the cabinets like cups and plates, and we went and bought some of that stuff. One thing I will say, when you're buying this stuff, make sure you keep a list of everything that you buy, so when you pick up another short-term rental, you can refer back to what you already bought, and it'll make the process a lot easier. Because when it takes time to decorate these things and get it right. You don't want to overdo it. Clean and simple is always better, in my opinion, but you still want it to be nice, and you still want to itemize everything. Another reason why you want to itemize everything is, I'm going to show you in the bathroom. Our second week on Airbnb, they broke the faucet, right? So we're in the process of being reimbursed for that. But had we not itemized and walked through the property and made sure everything was working, this is a brand new, new house. I don't want to say a new house, but it's a brand new rehab, right? Nothing was broken. Everything was working the way it should have. But they broke the faucet. If we hadn't itemized that and we didn't know how much we spent on that, it would have been harder to get reimbursed for that particular faucet. So, it's a $200 fix, really not a lot of money, but we shouldn't have to come out of our pockets as owners to be able to fix these small issues. Now, there's two different ways to do Airbnb, for example, or short-term rentals. A lot of people, let's walk over here. A lot of people, they do what's called an arbitrage, right? So they co-list, or they'll co-own or co-run these properties. They arbitrage the properties. And I'm gonna cut this light on over here. When it comes to the arbitrage method, you don't necessarily have to be the owner of the property. Now, that is a great way to get started if you don't have a lot of money. You can call up people who have properties up for rent and just simply ask them if you can rent the property on a short-term rental basis, right? So you can partner with them like that. I prefer ownership, so I control everything. And that way, let's say, for example, if I use the arbitrage method, an owner can say, I don't want to rent my house to you anymore. And guess what happens at that point? You're out of business. Or the owner might say, I could do this myself, and you're out of business. For me, I own the properties that I do short-term rentals on, mid-term rentals on, long-term rentals on, right? So I control what actually happens. Plus, I'm building equity. Plus, I get tax write-offs because I own the property. There's a lot of benefits to ownership that a lot of people don't tell you. But, I'm not saying that the arbitrage method is a bad way to get started, but just consider ownership at some point as well, as you build your business up. You should start arbitraging if you don't have a lot of money. That's a great way to get started. But when it comes to, when you hit a certain point in your business, you definitely want to build up. All right. So for me, Airbnb, short-term rentals like vrbo, vacation stays, booking.com, places like that, I think it's fantastic to be able to get some revenue coming in. I'll be honest, the entire $8,000 that we made on this property all came through Airbnb. And it's like that on other properties as well. Vrbo, we don't really get a lot of traffic on. And Expedia and all these other sites, we don't really get a lot of traffic on. Majority of our clientele comes from Airbnb, and that's why it's so popular today. I still think it's the #1 site for short-term rentals. Mid-term rentals, you got traveling nurses, and just move around a little bit instead of staying in one spot. But you got traveling nurses, traveling professionals. In fact, one of the Airbnb guests, the first one that stayed here, he asked, because he's working at a Toyota plant not too far that they're building right here in Liberty, North Carolina. He asked if he can pay me every month to stay in this house or one of my other houses. I got another Airbnb coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'm gonna work out a price that's beneficial for both of us, so that he prefers a furnished house. That's why he wanted to go that route. So I'm gonna win, he's gonna win. I got the client already. It's a mid-term rental style. He said it can be upwards of a year, so then it becomes a long-term rental, but I get more money just because the house is furnished. And I know he's gonna take care of my place. And what I'll do in that regard, I'll send a cleaning crew once every 2 weeks to make sure the property is staying up to date. All right, but this is the dining room right here. We got a basic table. It's a nice table, brand new. Everything in the house is brand new, all the furniture, right? Can you get this stuff secondhand, you absolutely can. I like to put stuff that I would wanna, if I was staying in an Airbnb, I'm looking for quality as well. So I like to put stuff in that I think is gonna, it doesn't look cheap. We spent some money on this stuff. It cost me about 25 grand to furnish this entire place and get it right to allow people to move in. I know people who talk about, $10,000 and $15,000 a lot. It cost me $25,000, but the house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I got 2 living rooms. It's a pretty good sized home with the exterior and everything. We spent some money to be able to get it right, but the return on the investment is phenomenal as well. Over here, we call this the game room. This is the pull-out couch. This house sleeps, although there's 1, 2, 3 bedrooms that can sleep 6 people. This is a pull-out couch as well. So technically it can sleep 8 people. It can sleep more, obviously, but I'll show you here in Greensboro, you got to get a license. Technically, I should only sleep 6 people, but we got a pull-out couch in here, and we could get 8 people in here. So I call this the game room. We bought a bunch of board games. My initial plan was to get one of those foosball tables in here. I decided not to go that route, only because, to me, it was going to take up more space, and I like the open feel. I don't want everything to look cluttered. This is the laundry room right here. So we got a stackable for $1,000, stacked up. In there you also got the cushions for the seats outside, which I'll show you right now. Yeah, so over here we got the patio set under the pergola. Just kind of offering outdoor living space. A lot of people love this when they come. Again, we've only had 2 guests. We got the 3rd guest showing up in a little bit, but the first 2 guests absolutely love this. And you can see there's a lot of sunlight here. This offers some shade if you wanted to sit outside. Got some cameras right here. I got 1 in the front and 1 in the back. If you're an Airbnb host and you got cameras inside the house, you should be ashamed of yourself, invading on people's privacy. I wouldn't want that done to me, so don't do it to other people. All right, but you definitely want to at least have some security cameras, maybe the front and the back of the house, and don't invade the people's privacy. And don't have no cameras in the house, man. That hidden camera stuff, if you're a short-term rental host, don't do that, because to me, at the end of the day, that's going to cause problems in the long run. You're invading people's privacy, and we're starting to hear a lot of that come up lately. Let's go back in the house. We're going to go into the master bedroom back here. So this is the master bedroom. We got a king-size bed in here. This is a little decoration that my wife came up with. This is what the cleaning crew, she taught the cleaning crew how to do this. And we have this basket. To me, it offers a welcoming feel, but we have this basket set up on each bed in each room just to offer a homey feel when you walk into the property. Got the TV, got the dresser, and everything else that we need in here. Walk-in closet, not much in there. But then over here is the master bath, and you guys have seen that when it was completely gutted out. You've seen it when I rehabbed it, but you also see it now that we are renting this property. One thing that we do in here, we added a picture just to make it feel homey, but then you also got this, a lot of people, they might wet up the floor when they get out the shower. So you want to prep people, right? So this is the hospitality business. It's the real estate business, but it's also the hospitality business, right? So you got to kind of guide people the way that you want them to move. They won't take care of your property the way you will, right? So, and you want to make it as easy as possible for them to enjoy their stay, right? So we put the towel right there on the floor so they know, look, this is the towel I'm going to use when I step outside of the shower. We got soap, shampoo, conditioner, and body wash inside the shower. And just feels real good in here when you walk in. All right, so this is the other bathroom that belongs to these 2 bedrooms back here. These are, back there, I said master, somebody said that I should say primary suite. So we got the primary suite over there, all right? When I grew up, it was master bath and master bedroom, all right? These days they call it primary, so that's what we're gonna call it. Primary suite over there with the bathroom. And then you got the second bedroom and third bedroom, along with a shared bathroom right here. All right, but let's walk into this, let's walk into the third bedroom first. So this is the smallest bedroom in the entire house. We call this the gray room. All right, the primary suite, we call it the beach room because it offers that beachy feel. But this is the gray room. And you can see we got a queen size bed in here. You know, basic stuff. Same setup as the primary. TV, dresser, you know, we got good quality furniture. So we don't have junk in here, right? We spent some money. That's why it came out to $25,000. But that's why our stuff is going to last a lot longer than the average person's stuff. And we got, you know, so we've been on Airbnb with this property for about 3 weeks. And we got 3 5-star reviews already. Every single guest gave us a 5-star review. In Greensboro, number one, you got to be 750 feet away from the nearest Airbnb. You got to have a license. It costs about $200. It's a one-time fee. And they want you to make sure, because I had my realtor, she launched the Airbnb about 5 minutes away from here, but she didn't file for the license in time. They charged her $500. So now she got to pay the $500 plus the $200. Okay. Make sure that you know, in your area, in your local municipality, follow the laws. You know, make sure that you're doing what you need to do in order to stay on top of things, because you're operating a business at the end of the day. You want to make sure your paperwork is right. But this is another queen size bed, another basic room. We call this the black room or the success room. You can see there's a lot of motivational clips up, artwork. We got the hustle picture, stay humble and be kind. You'll never have this day again, so make it count. And also work hard and stay humble, right? So this is the motivation room, success room, the black room. And we call it the black room because of the curtains. So just another room here. Let's go back out here. That's it for this video. I just wanted to show y'all around this particular property. This is a great play if you want to build in if you want to bring in a lot of money in a short period of time, have more turnaround, but your property is going to be kept up a lot longer as well. When you go long-term rentals, the longer somebody stays in your house, the more work is eventually going to need. They're not going to keep it clean like you would. They're not going to, you know, people live the way they live. It is what it is. You know, there's something called wear and tear. But, you know, when you do these short terms, you can come into the property every week. You can clean it, spruce it up, make sure it's being kept up. And with that, it's going to be much easier to keep your property in the condition that you want to keep it in. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the property. Again, this property, first 2.5 weeks, pulled in $8,000 in bookings already. You know, I'm pleasantly surprised with that. You know, I got another one launching in about a month. But at the end of the day, you know, to me, this is the better play if you don't mind the turnaround and you want to keep your property in great condition. Midterm rental is a fine balance between short-term and long-term, because you'll make less money, but you'll have less turnaround and you'll have more guaranteed money as well. And then long-term is always great for guaranteed money, but you know, you got to consider the wear and tear that is going to go on your property as well. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to like it, subscribe, click the notification bell. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this property. For certain properties, you make certain decisions, and this is one of those properties that I decided to do short-term rentals on. I do a little bit of everything in real estate, but look, leave a comment in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.